Shanghai authorities recently reported a new case of the CCP virus. The patient was a resident who just returned to China from abroad and was diagnosed during the routine self-quarantine at home as a returnee. Since Chinese authorities always cover up the real scope of the coronavirus outbreak, Chinese people have to rely on informal channels to find out what is going on. Some locals shared information on social media that 4 other people near Huamu Street in Shanghai's Pudong district also contracted the virus after coming into contact with the patient. Shanghai authorities denied the hearsay, but pandemic control measures in the area were drastically tightened. Shanghai residents believe the officials are concealing the real situation again. The message from an informal channel came out just before the official announcement. A WeChat message said there were at least 5 confirmed cases near Huamu Street. Patient 0 was diagnosed and self-quarantined at home. Because he hired plumbers and electricians to do repair work inside his apartment during this period, and these plumbers and electricians later performed work for other residents, more than 30 households were ordered to be quarantined as close contacts. A couple of days later, local authorities in Pudong district announced on October 26th that a person who just came back from abroad developed symptoms on October 22nd, was quarantined at home, and later confirmed to be infected. It also claimed that all close contacts of the patient tested negative. However, a resident near Huamu Street told the Epoch Times that many people in the neighborhood have been quarantined.
All the neighborhoods here have received the notice that residents will be monitored, as strictly as at the beginning of the pandemic. We are also required to wear masks. In the case of my community, we must scan the health barcode again. For the past several months, everything was back to normal. No barcode scanning, no body temperature measurement.
Residents in the area expressed doubts about the official announcement that all close contacts tested negative, because many residents have been taken away to be quarantined.
A lot of people are currently under quarantine. The authorities claimed that all tested negative. I'm pretty sure they're lying. Think about it. That person has been confirmed to be infected. He has come into contact with many people. And these contacts again have interacted with many others. We know for sure that the total number of contacts, including secondary contacts, is not small.
Local residents also revealed that many days ago, some hospitals and communities in Shanghai had already tightened epidemic prevention and control. Those who go to the hospital must have a health barcode and wear a mask. Moreover, the doctors in Xibei Hospital started to wear a full set of protective gear some time ago, including goggles, medical masks, and hazmat suits. These are all indications that the epidemic has worsened, but the authorities have been bragging about 0 new domestic cases since May.
The Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, is on the 4th leg of his Asia tour. He arrived in Jakarta, Indonesia on the evening of the 28th and held a bilateral meeting with the Indonesian Defense Minister the next day. Pompeo praised Indonesia for its defense against the CCP's encroachment into its territorial waters, and in the afternoon meeting, he again condemned the CCP's persecution of Muslims, Christians, and Falun Gong practitioners. Pompeo's new itinerary included a visit on the 29th to Vietnam, which also has disputes with the CCP over sovereignty in the South China Sea.
Our law-abiding nations reject the unlawful claims made by the Chinese Communist Party in the South China Sea, as is clear from Indonesia's courageous leadership on the subject within ASEAN and at the United Nations.
Chinese fishing boats have been repeatedly accused in recent years of intruding into economic waters off Indonesia's northern territory, the Natuna Islands. Indonesian Foreign Minister Retno stressed that any sovereignty claim must be based on international law and the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. Pompeo also said he is looking forward to more new cooperation with Indonesia to ensure maritime security.
I also welcome the example Indonesia set with decisive action to safeguard its maritime sovereignty around the Natuna Islands. I'm looking forward to cooperating together in the new ways to ensure maritime security and protect some of the world's busiest trade routes.
Pompeo's 2-day trip also included an event organized by Indonesia's largest moderate Islamic group, Nahdlatul Ulama, where he discussed democracy, pluralism, and human rights, again denouncing the CCP's persecution of religious freedom.
But in fact, the gravest threat to the future of religious freedom is the Chinese Communist Party's war against the people of all faiths, Muslims, Buddhists, Christians, and Falun Gong practitioners alike. The atheist Chinese Communist Party has tried to convince the world that its brutalization of Uyghur Muslims in Xinjiang is necessary as a part of its counterterrorism efforts or poverty alleviation, depending on which audience that they are speaking to.